sitting on your ass on a hard chair for 8 hours in a tournament is terrible for you. So I kind of avoid tournaments unless like it's something specifically appealing to me as well for that reason, because like the sitting on your ass for hours and hours just is awful.
Well, look what we have here, everyone. Yes, I followed through, and we're doing it now. We're doing it live. Hexes are ready to go.
Happy.
Yes, Upseti is.
I love
happy.
hexes. I love them.
Yes, I'm a huge fan as well. Actually, that was my last playthrough on Return to Drangleic. I had a little bit of a Hexer character. At least, you know, Scraps of Life. I mean, one of my favorite spells actually is Scraps. So let's just go with Scraps if we could find it.
It's bottom right.
Oh, bottom right. I love Scraps of Life. I mean, at least
S.
At least S, yeah. I mean, this is a great spell, especially for even PvE. A lot of people are always like, oh my god, there's so many ganks in the PvE. And it's like, well, there's so many ways around that. You should definitely check. Scraps of Life is a great option against PvE. And an even better option inside of PvP in the arena or whatever. Yeah, just a very deadly spell there. Can you explain it more, Upseti?
Yeah, I'd love to, Rad. So the thing with Scraps of Life, I would probably consider it, other than Outcry, I would consider it the best area denial spell in the game. Like, I would actually consider it in the top 5 spells in the game entirely.
Yeah.
Because compared to Firestorm variants, you escape that cast really quickly, and the pillars keep coming out when you're already running around. Like, it can pancake, not for too much damage. I think I don't get much more than 400 damage out of it, but it can pancake against low poise anyway. And on that regard, it can infinite if you're lucky. There's conditions, I think, with poise and such and like whatever, but if you're fighting someone with like full Lion Mage or something along those lines, full Seldora, God help them if they're in arena with full Seldora, but Scraps of Life can infinite, and Vagabond says it has tracking tech. I believe I was told if you lock onto somebody and go to the right of them while they're in Wake Up, it's more likely to actually hit on Wake Up. Someone can confirm or deny that, but I do remember there being actual tracking on it if you lock on.
This is a very good spell. I mean, this is something that is amazing throughout the whole game. So definitely check out Scraps of Life, one of the best spells. You can cast it, and then while you're in this sort of cage of these black pillars, you could do whatever you want. You could heal in there. You could Soul Spear. I don't know. You could do anything you want. So it's a very, very versatile spell.
Soul Mass.
Something. Yep. Soul Mass. Because you need to be able to. Yeah, anything.
It lingers for like 7 seconds or something, and it's fast to cast. So like, you can do anything while you're inside there. You can basically just do whatever you want while it's running, and anyone who knows it's coming will avoid you like the plague.
Scraps. We love Scraps. Scraps it's amazing. I mean, it's amazing. All right, we got some more stuff. We got
should have been in Dark Souls 3.
You know what?
Should have been.
These don't have the names on them, so I'm totally screwed here. Oh no.
I know. I'll know the names.
Okay, what's the first one? Resonant Soul?
I believe that is Great Resonant Soul.
Great Resonant Soul, which consumes a lot of souls.
I think it's 1,000 or
Yeah.
2,000 per. Yeah, that's one of the soul hexes. It's not Climax. That is the one before Climax. It does do a shitload of damage. Obviously, you're going to be keeping in mind the trade-off with the soul thing. I don't use the only soul hex I use is Dark Dance because it's very unique. Yeah, without soul memory, soul hexes are perfect. You just farm enemies, you farm invasions, you have like 1,000,000 souls. It's a playground. Soul memory fucks the soul hex idea. They really need to get rid of that if they ever remake Dark Souls 2. They have to get rid of soul memory.
Don't remake it.
But anyway, I'll digress. it has an insane DPS. Like, I've invaded a lot of people using that spell, and even from PvEers, that thing is scary because they'll have the ring you get from Dark Diver Grandal, the Abyss ring. You know, maybe they'll have Dark Clutch ring. They got like the Cathus Chime. That shit will slap you. Even with Black Witch on, it'll slap you really hard.
Oof. All right, really cool spell. We like it. We like it. Let's move on to the next one. Is this Dark Blade or Dark Greatsword? I believe it is, yeah?
Hold on, I'm catching up on your stream. Oh, yes, that is Dark Greatsword.
I think this is pretty good. I mean, dude, if you hit someone point blank with that, it's a ton of damage. But...
And it drains stamina, I think, too.
Yeah, that's the huge thing on hexes. They drain stamina as well as damage. Which is, oh man, that's painful, especially on like Dark Orb or whatever. We'll get there. But how are you? I don't know. It's hard to hit with this one, but it's pretty good.
Okay, there is a tech I know with that one that Pan showed me. I'll get to that in a second. Dark Greatsword is definitely worse than Soul Greatsword because it needs 2 slots. I believe the blade itself. Like, not including the wave projectile, I believe the blade itself is shorter than Soul Greatsword. Someone can let me know if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure the Soul Greatsword sword is shorter than, or sorry, Dark Greatsword's blade is shorter than Soul Greatsword, but, you know, you slap someone up close with it with the wave and the sword, and yeah, like 900 damage easily. The tech with it is with binoculars. You can binocular the wave.
Oh, wow.
Free aim it. So
shout outs to Pancake.
A tier for sure.
A tier.
Yeah, shout outs to Pancake. I don't know if he discovered that, but he showed me that at least.
That's cool. That's cool.
A tier, not S, but A tier.
Okay, I don't know what this one is here.
I love that one. That one is basically revised, or that one is no, it's revised. Vow of Silence. It's better Vow of Silence. That is called, it's not Promise Walk of Peace. That's the TWAP one. It's called Profound Still.
Profound Still.
And okay. I would actually put that in B for 2 reasons, because I do have experience using the spell. The first reason is it's actually very fast. The cast speed on that one is remarkably quick for what you'd expect from a debuff. And the other good thing about it is that it will shut down a spell mid-cast. Like, I've had someone walk up to me with like a Great Lightning Spear and I thought I was about to die, and I was mid-cast of this spell and it went off and then they threw nothing at me and it saved my ass.
Oh my god, that's sick.
I have a clip. I think I have a clip somewhere. And the other part, obviously, is that it's Vow of Silence that does not shut down your own spells. I might even put it in A. I might even say, fuck it, put it in A, because it's got like everything that you want Vow of Silence to be. Profound Still is. It's fast. It doesn't cuck your own spells, and it shuts down spells mid-cast as an AoE. It's great. I would highly recommend it.
Beautiful. Okay, this next one here, I don't know what it is.
That is Life Drain Patch.
Okay, we know Life Drain Patch. Unfortunately, Life Drain Patch is kind of bad. Let me just make
it's bad. There are 2 things that there are 3 things that Life Drain Patch is good with. Number 1, if you are a Phantom, you can kill your host with it because it kills regardless of team type. It ignores team type completely.
Nice.
On that regard, number 2, if you're an invader and you are getting blocked by an enemy, particularly in Dragoneering, that one hollow, he fucks me every time. It will kill enemies. It will kill. Yeah, if you're an invader, Life Drain Patch will kill PvE. Number 3, it is terrifying when you bullet spam it. That is, but the bullet spam of Life Drain Patch. Shoutouts to Cheat Engine. Bullet spammed. Oh, we got an ad.
All right, we're gonna wait for the ad to end.
We got an ad.
Let's put the new Cinder emote in the chat.
Oh, is that like a Mortal Kombat sprite? It looks like one.
Killer Instinct from the Super Nintendo. But yeah, I pulled it off.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
got you.
yeah, there you go with the sunlight spear. Let's go. Oh, that's just great. That's great lightning.
Yeah. Actually, that's from a short animated film that I worked on. I think this was rotoscoped off of me. I think I colored it, and one of my friends actually did the line work for it. But yeah,
I love that.
Anyway,
gift,
Life Drain Patch. The Life Drain Patch is a meme. It's bad. It has some very, very specific purposes, and probably very few people will know it. So yeah, it's a meme. It's E tier.
Awesome.
The next one we got is Repel.
Yeah, Repel. Oh god, another meme. Unfortunately, I wish it was good.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. That's an E tier because for one reason, you just fucking roll. Why would you? This needs like 3 slots, I think. You get like 20 casts of it. But yeah, just fucking roll. I don't know why this is in the game.
Yeah, if this like parried someone, if they were casting a spell at you or something, that would be sick. Or something weird like that. Maybe there's just something that we haven't discovered because we know that there's so much weird tech in this game that people keep randomly discovering. Maybe there's something. If someone can look up Repel, yeah, it should be buffed. So hopefully they put that on the next patch. If you're listening, Yui Tanimura, please put that on the next Dark Souls 2 patch. That's definitely coming out. We'd love it.
Yeah. If it like gave you 3 seconds of invincibility and had like 2 casts for like 3 slots, and it's like, yeah, maybe there's like some spam attack from a boss that you want to avoid. If it locks you in place, but it gives you 3 seconds, that's fine. But 1 second, just fucking roll or even backstep, right?
Backstep. Yeah, come on, guys. Come on.
Okay, this next one, I think this is Resonant Flesh, if I remember. Because I think Numbness is the other one. This is Resonant Flesh.
Right. This, yeah, go ahead, because I'm not too versed on this.
A Resonant Flesh gives you, if I recall, you trade souls for a percentage of max HP buff. I don't know the exact number, so I'm actually going to look that up real quick. I think it's 10%, but let me look. Resonant Flesh. We're going to look at Wikidot.
One of them, they were in the Orange Arena, everyone was chatting in the Orange Arena about how one of these is insane if you're an 838. It's
probably
one of the
Resonant Flesh because
it's got to be Resonant Flesh. Yeah.
It says if you use 2,000 souls, it boosts your HP by 20% for up to 3 minutes.
Oh my god! And Vagabond is confirming that it's giving you 700 plus HP on 838. Honestly, we probably shouldn't be disclosing this information on the internet so widely, so that the police don't arrive. Because this is the Dark Souls 2 police. They're gonna lock me down for this. They want to keep the meta level at 155.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. All right, keep going.
I don't know. Should we put it in A tier?
Yeah, we should. That's purely nuts if you think about it.
Even outside of being an 838, let's say your meta, you got 50 vigor, 20% of what is it, like 2,400 HP when you're at 50 vigor, and then you have life ring on top of that and 3rd dragon ring. So let's just say like let's say 2,500 just for shits and gigs. 20% of
like
2,500 is 500 HP. So if you have 2,500 HP and you cast this, you get another 500. So you just cast Brachial Excerpt and you have 3,000 HP. So that's worth putting in A.
So your health goes away when you cast it. God damn, that's
no,
insane.
you get more.
Oh,
you get more.
But you lose a little health by doing it, right?
No.
Oh, you just
lose
get more
souls.
Health? Oh, you lose souls. I'm sorry. Okay, got it.
It doesn't heal you, so you have to like cast a heal spell afterwards.
Right. Got it. Okay. Yep.
Yeah,
that's
you can
crazy.
take your HP up. Yeah, so that's A tier easily. Just because it's a soul hex, I feel I'm reluctant to put any soul hex higher than A because soul hex is like fuck that. But because of soul memory, but still A. Right. That's probably the best you can go.
And then what do we have here?
Twisted Barrier.
Twisted Barricade, which is almost the same as Repel, right?
Twisted Barricade is for spells. They do the same thing. They have it in Dark Souls 1, I think, and in Dark Souls 3, but it's a sorcery. Spell Parry Shield
So
does
it's
the
a spell
same
parry.
thing, so E.
Yeah,
I would put it in
pretty-
E because, again, you backstep, you roll, or you spell parry, so it's pointless.
Yeah, unfortunately. And we have Yorg's spear as well. I swear to God,
Or Yorg's
Affinity
ring,
isn't- I'm strangled. Whoa, calm down, Declan.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, welcome in.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to
I
that.
can talk on Affinity.
Yeah, Affinity's great. Let's go. Okay, next one down
Alright, so we
here.
got Resonant Soul.
And still, this takes
Resonant
souls from
Soul.
you.
Less than Great Resonant Soul. Still hurts a lot. So I think it's on par because I think it takes less souls than Great Resonant. Less damage. Still hits really fucking hard though.
Yeah, I think we'll put
So
it in
B is probably fair.
B. All right, we
Yeah,
got
I think B is fine.
Whispers of Despair. I know this one. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's got a random factor to it. You do get really stuck in your animations, but it is just. It makes a
It's
weird
almost
sound.
I would almost put it in D just because of it. It's like Forbidden Sun where it locks you in spot. You can't like free aim it or like walk with it.
Yeah.
It's very easy to avoid getting hit by.
But if
given,
it hits you,
I think if it hits you, it's what, a 10% damage reduction for like 20 seconds or something like that.
So
let me
that's
confirm
not bad.
because that's
Yeah,
important.
That's actually it's a pretty cool thing to actually hit someone with that, and it does have a huge range, which is we were talking about not force, but the other faith spell that makes that has a huge range, but only does like 200 damage. Emit force. It's almost like same range as emit force, but this one actually, if it hits you, you affect the other character in a really good way in your favor.
All right. I got the wiki dot pulled up for it. It says on hit will reduce physical defense of target by 200 for 1 minute.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm assuming it isn't downscaled. So yeah, less physical defense. So yeah, that really fucks somebody.
So I'm thinking
if
between.
you're
I think
on
C's,
elemental builds.
C's kind of cool because you can cast it from the other side of the arena, and that thing might hit the other guy, and the randomness is so random that you might hit someone even who's actually good. I don't think it's too bad. Maybe C or D. Yeah.
All right, like if it hits, yes, it is good. It's just it is hard to land. I will give it that. It is hard to land. Yeah, but it is a projectile that debuffs, and we love those.
Yeah, we like the debuff. Yeah, and emit force. Yeah, we just did that one. It's like it's just a really bad. Unfortunately, I almost put it in trash, but it's like, yeah, it's almost like
I talked Rad out of it.
I got so.
It's like
sad
in D
about it.
or E.
Yeah. At
It's
least
not
it does
great.
something, right? Okay, we have the Tranquil Walk of Peace equivalent of Dark Souls 2, equivalent in Dark Souls 2.
Okay.
What is it called? Vow of
Promised Walk.
Promised Walk of Peace.
Promised Walk of Peace.
Now our homie, shout out to Klaus, was testing everything to make this spell work. He tried all these different combinations of different ideas, but I didn't really see it working so well because it makes you both slow walk. That was the nerf. Like in DS1,
Yeah.
it made the other, the Tranquil Walk TWAP would just make the other guy slow walk while you were free to just backstab him or whatever. But in this game, both of you are slow walking. So I don't know how good it is.
Yeah. It also affects your roll percentage, both of you. So with this spell, you're gonna want to make sure you're like at, I think 40% is probably safe to use it. Vagabond, I don't know if you want to weigh in here. I think Birds is gone, but yeah, this is definitely a spell you want to have as low of an equip load as possible. The biggest problem with Promised Walk of Peace is it has fucking horrible cast time. Like Profound Still, very quick, very good. Promised Walk of Peace, dreadful cast speed. Like, you would need full Lion Mage, the Clearstone Ring, and it would still be bad. Like, I don't know, man. This spell is definitely D at best. I'd almost put it in E.
I think we're still searching for the answer on that one. So let's keep experimenting with Promised Walk of Peace and let us know if anyone finds something with that. We'd love to see it. Okay, what's this next one? Do we know?
Darkstorm.
Darkstorm. This one locks you in place for an extremely long amount of time, right?
Yeah, it
That's
locks
like
you in place
animation.
during the cast. Yep, it is the Wrath of the Gods animation. Now, the thing about this, do not use it in Arena. I don't get good wake-ups off of it, so it's not a good wake-up. However, it travels through walls, so on invasions, it will smack somebody for 800 damage and knock them on their ass, and if they poise through it, it will keep spinning into them and it will keep hitting them. So it is a good invasion spell. Scraps of Life, obviously, way better, but this spell, if you want to slap the shit out of somebody who's approaching you and knock them on their ass, this spell will do it, and it will travel through walls. So if you're on the other side of a doorway, you cast this spell, the range increases over time very slowly. It takes 2 slots, but it does lock you in spot. If you get hit, I think, while it's active, it will keep going after you get knocked out. So if someone like throws a knife at you, I think it keeps spinning afterwards. So that is something to keep in.
And you're disengaged from it after they smack you, so you can kind of keep moving. Yeah, so I would say it's purely an invasion spell. On PvE, it's not so good because a lot of bosses and enemies have just infinite fucking poise. Like, yeah, you go underneath Royal Rat and like smack them with that, it should shred them apart. But like a lot of enemies will just like poise through it and kill you. Like little hollows, sure, they'll get knocked over. Yeah.
But yeah, it's specifically, I'd consider it an invader spell.
Invasion spell. So what are you thinking, like C?
C at best. I think it does smack really hard. So C. Okay,
let's go C. All right, we have our next buff here, our dark buff. Is this the one that makes your, like, you can only see darkness? You can only see like a circle.
Numbness. What it does, it vignettes you. It gives you a vignette. It gives you a, I think it gives you either a percentage or a flat overall defense buff. I'm gonna bring up the numbers. I want to confirm because that dictates how good it is, because I know it vignettes you and that sucks ass in an invasion.
It's like getting flashbanged in Counter-Strike, the equivalent of Dark Souls.
Reduces, Okay, we got the numbers here. Reduces all incoming damage by 15%. Duration depends on intelligence.
Okay. That's very interesting.
So here's my take on it. Numbness, probably very good in duels because you shouldn't lose sight of your opponent, especially if they're glowing red, right? In invasions, like I've gotten fucked in invasions because I've cast this before a fight and then I just lost the host because they ran away and I couldn't find them. So this is probably a dueling spell specifically. 15% damage redux is good, but the vignette is annoying. Arena exclusive, I would say.
Arena exclusive, and only for the most hardcore hexers out there. What are we thinking? C? D?
D or C, like low C, high D. Like 15% is good.
Yeah.
So I would say C.
Yeah. Okay, next one here. Is this C. Climax? No.
That's Dark Dance.
Dark Dance, which is
Dark Dance is that one noob was using. It's basically a pelvic thrust. It's force that does damage, and then it shoots out the 5 orbs that smack you.
Actually, pretty freaking good spell. Not gonna lie. It stuns you when you're right next to it. Yeah, honestly, maybe A. Yeah. Back of A.
If I desperately wish this was not a soul hex because it's so
a soul
cool.
hex. All right, so we'll keep it an A because soul hexes are not going to go over A, maybe except for Climax.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
maybe
don't know
you've
if
not
you've seen
seen
that
it.
one. I use it in a video that I made. I made like a 40-minute like just invasion highlight like video on my channel, and I do use it at one point. It hits pretty hard. I think the orbs will drain stamina. I don't quite remember. I'm pretty sure it should, because I know like Resonant Souls do.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it's
what
cool.
it does, it's basically like it's force combined with almost like you could consider it like affinity. It's very short range though. Keep that in mind. Like, don't like go really far away and use it. It's like you use it up close to someone. Like what Noob does, I look Noob, is if you're hugging his body to Moss to try to strafe his Climax, he'll just use this instead, and it will still smack the shit out of you because it combos into itself. So
And if
good spell.
all 5 of those, it's almost like affinities kind of come up your head real quick, and then they just instantly come down, like almost after they cast it. So it's like a 2-hit confirm. Use the force, and then all of a sudden, pew. And if all 5 of those hit, I think they each hit for around 200. So you can get some damage on there. It's pretty scary. Yeah, it's probably like the belly blast from Elden Ring.
It's good.
Okay, we have dark weapon here.
What's it called? Noble Presence. Yeah.
Oh, is that
a dark
from Elden Ring?
weapon? All right.
I don't
if
really like
Birds
buffs.
was here, she.
Yeah.
I don't really
Birds
like
would
buffs
know.
either, but however, dark weapon gets 4 casts instead of just 1.
So
And
pretty
I
damn good
know
for
it-
PvE.
I've used it. I used to use it a lot when I was first starting out on Dark Souls 2 PvP. Like, I remember my first PvP build was a dark drift hexer with Black Witch staff.
That's cool.
And I would buff it with this, so I would get like the shield pierce attack with dark infusion and the dark buff, and that slaps the shit out of people. So I'd put it in C tier because you get a lot of casts of it. It's like I think it's probably one of the better buffs. I don't know about length, but it gets good damage and you get repeated casts of it. I think that's probably C tier.
All right, so we popped it up to C. It's just a dark buff. It makes your sword stronger. It's pretty cool. All right, so we got dead again here, right? This is dead again, no?
Yes,
Yeah.
I have never used it.
Actually, it's pretty cool.
I've only
So
used it in Dark Souls 3.
It's actually it's from like Diablo 2. When that game came out, there's a spell called Corpse Explosion, and it's basically the exact same thing. So when someone walks over it, you create these little balls on the enemy on the floor. Sorry, on the dead enemies on the floor have a little ball that appear on them, and then they explode about a couple seconds later. But it's not too good. I actually just invaded someone yesterday, and they used this, and there was a bunch of hollows around, and it hit me. I thought I was dead, but it only hit me for about 25% of my health, so I don't know. I don't think it's that good. What are we? It's really like invasion. It's like an invasion or like a hosting spell to trick an invader. Not gonna work in an arena,
that's
obviously.
exactly what I did with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't use it in 2. I used it in Dark Souls 3, and me and my friend, we both had Dark Chimes, and we went to the Grand Archives, and we pushed a bunch of enemies into one spot, and we put some items on top of it, and then I dry fingered, and we were chameleoned, right?
Yeah.
So we just waited for an invader to walk up, pick up the item, and then we cast it. We would miss it because it takes so long to actually pop off that you can roll away from it. And it doesn't even one-shot, even with the optimal chime. So, like, yeah, I was disappointed with that thing in DS. It's only a host spell, maybe
It's
phantoms,
a hosting spell,
but like, yeah,
right.
invaders can't really use it. Like you said, can't use it in arena.
I think
So, like,
invaders
D
can
at
use
best.
it. I thought invaders could use
In
it.
2?
But I believe they can. Okay, we'll double check that information. Yeah.
Okay, let me look up. I'll look to that right now.
They can use it. Vagabond's saying they
again.
can. Yeah, they can.
All right. Okay.
So then it's pretty good.
I'm still gonna
It's-
vote on D.
Yeah, I'm gonna go D as well. The one place is like Forest of Fallen Giant Scholar of the First Sin, where there's like 50 hollows or whatever. Just fight them all in the same spot, wog them, and then chameleon and wait for a invader. If that's what you want to do, spending your time doing that, hey, all the power to you. Okay, next one here is Dark Orb, right?
S.
No.
S.
Is it? Is this it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's Dark Orb.
It's S. Absolutely is S. Very, very good.
All
Can
right.
take the other person's stamina. Does not cost souls to use. Has a billion casts. Like what? 400 casts? No, I'm kidding. Something like 20 or I don't know. It's a lot. And she thinks higher than Scraps. Okay.
Oh, easily.
Easily.
Yeah. The thing about Dark Orb. The thing about Dark Orb is that on a reasonably dedicated build, after defense, you will be consistently doing about 250 damage. It depletes a shitload of stamina. It's really fast, and you get 21 casts, I think, at base. It's either 20 or 21. With enough attunement, I think you get 28 or 29. You slap on 2 slots of it, that's like 52. So yeah, Dark Orb is insane. Like if you invade a gank and one person has Dark Orb, that is hell.
Yeah, that's hell. I totally agree. Okay, good. Great points here. Awesome. Yeah, I actually really haven't used it too much. I should though. Okay, the next one we have here, I'm not sure what it is. Affinity, yeah?
Affinity.
Yeah, Affinity.
Yeah. All right, you want to go first?
I would probably say top of A or S. But it's pretty good.
I love Affinity, don't get me wrong. It's a lot better in Dark Souls 3 though, and here's why. The requirements for it in Dark Souls 2 really unreasonable.
Right, okay.
60 intelligence is a massive sink, and it needs 3 slots. Given you get like 10 casts of it, which is very good. Its cast speed is terrible.
Yeah, it's slow.
It is significantly like homing Crystal Soul Mass is better in every way,
right? Except
for tracking and stamina damage, obviously. That said, it does just like Pursuers in Dark Souls 1, Affinity has amazing tracking, and it'll circle around before it hits, and there is a tech to it. If you're fighting multiple opponents with Affinity, Affinity will, in Dark Souls 2 anyway, it will track whoever you're locked onto at that moment. So if Affinity is traveling towards somebody and you lock on to somebody else, it will change trajectory and go for somebody else.
Damn. What?
And that is a really special thing that it does. I mean,
that's
it's been a long
time. Sorry.
It's been a really long time since I've been able to use it in that way. So you're gonna have to let me confirm on that. But if I remember, it will change trajectory depending on what you're locked onto mid travel. So you're gonna have to let me test that again.
That's cool.
No, I want confirmation.
Cool. No, that's cool.
But
I like that.
I think A tier, even though like the damage is great and it has a lot of cast, it does a lot of damage, stamina damage, but 60 int, 3 slots, that is a hard thing to meet.
Yeah, that, like you said, a huge sink. All right,
so
we're almost getting
A tier
to
at best.
Yeah, A tier. Okay, maybe back of A, because a lot of this stuff in A is insane. Doesn't have the type of sink that has. Affinity is my go-to for gang spanks. I'll send you a clip of like 3 months ago destroying a 3v1 in Broom Tower with it. Oh damn, Declan. That sounds like it'd be amazing.
Yeah, if you can find that, we'd watch it.
Yeah, find it. We'll watch it, and also we wanna get a Bone Fist compilation. Chalier. All right, what's the next one here?
Yeah,
I am straight up
that
blind.
Is Recollection.
Recollection, which I completely forgot what it does.
Okay, did you play Dark Souls 3?
Yes.
Do you know what Floating Chaos is?
I don't remember.
All right. So what Recollection does is it will summon a little ball, and this ball will shoot 5 little skull projectiles that track in on a target. So it summons a projectile that shoots other projectiles. The damage on it is very low, but what it does offer you is passive pressure, because you can cast this at the start of a fight, and while it's shooting shit, you can then approach and it will keep shooting shit to force a roll, or it'll drain stamina. It'll do
Oh.
damage.
Wait.
Floating Chaos only
Hold
shoots
on.
3 projectiles. This one shoots 5 and it drains stamina. So it is better, and it only needs 1 slot. So in a duel, it's pretty good passive pressure. Just don't treat it like it's damage. Treat it like it's forcing a roll or depleting stamina. It does do damage, but like it's like, I don't know, 150, maybe 200 per hit instead of like 300 like Dark Orb will do. Floating Chaos is really bad. Yeah, I used to use it because it looked cool, but yeah, Floating Chaos sucks. This is better, but not
Okay.
by too much.
I'm sorry. I
C,
just wanted
maybe?
to. Yeah, C. I totally agree, but actually, I messed up. I mixed up this and Whisper of Despair. So yeah, I like this one. Definitely C. I would put it in front of Whisper of Despair, but is Whisper of Despair? It's just a
Yeah.
single cast, right?
Yep. Single little projectile that lowers defense, whereas Recollection shoots 5 that do a little tiny bit of damage.
Cool. All right. Cool.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Is this next
Not
one?
Dark Bead.
Yeah. DS2
that's
Dark
Dark
Bead.
All right.
Unfortunately, it's kind of trash, but it's okay. I don't know.
I actually, I think a couple weeks ago, I did a Hexer invading stream, and I specifically was like, okay, I've been playing Dark Souls 1 again. Let's try Dark Souls 2 Dark Bead one more time. And you know what? It's not as bad as I used to think it is. I would definitely... Here's the thing. I'm hesitant to put it quite in B, but it is still a shotgun. If you point blank cast it in someone's face, probably the best tool for it would be something with a low cast origin. And that, for the lowest cast origin for hexes that are sorcery based, would be actually a Dark Sanctum Shield, because that's casting from your hand. And you want as low as when we rank our staves, cast origin is a big factor. Like Black Witch Staff and Sunset Staff and Witch Tree Staff, like those all Witch Tree Staff is probably the best one for cast speed. But the thing about it is that all the staffs have a high origin, which means like the spell originates from like above your head. But with a Dark Sanctum Shield, that will shoot out point blank from your bare hand essentially. And you want that for shotgunning somebody with Dark Bead. And if you're even far away, it does fan out. So if someone rolls to the side, assuming that you're going to shoot a Dark Orb, because of the fanning like shape, you can probably hit someone on the ass end of their roll and it'll clip them. So you'll still get like maybe 180 damage out of it, even if it's just like a single little orb hit. So you know what? B might be a stretch, but it's not as bad as I thought it was. It's either a high C or a low B for me.
Okay, I think B with the Sanctum Shield. I like that. That's really cool. And I guess we keep going here.
Yep. Okay. This one is Dark Blade.
Right.
This is Dark Blade. I forgot about Resonant Blade, Resonant Weapon. This is Dark Weapon. So this is the version. This is the one that doesn't need souls. So you know what?
We gotta bump this down to D. I think the Resonant Blade.
Yeah, because Resonant Weapon. I think Resonant Weapon is overall more damaging, but Dark Weapon, it gets 4 casts. It doesn't need souls. It's a buff. Like, yeah, I think C tier for that one. D tier for Resonant.
Yeah,
Weapon.
Absolutely. Okay, we have a crazy spell here. This is Climax, which is technically one of the strongest spells in the game.
I
curious
believe
to where
has
you want to
the
put this.
highest DPS.
The highest DPS. I'm curious to where he wants to put this.
Let me think. All right, I'm thinking, Radwells. I'm thinking.
Okay, you think, I want to say some facts about it. I think it takes 20,000 souls, right? 20,000?
No, it's 5,000.
Oh, 5,000 to cast this.
It uses everything. Okay, here's the thing how it works. It will use every single soul you have, but it caps at 5,000. So you use so what Noob was doing in the arena, what I Look Noob had, he was using Souls of a Brave Warrior to reload his cast, because that's
Yes.
exactly 5k. So if you want to use it optimally, you have 0 souls, you pop a Brave Warrior soul, so you have exactly 5k.
And you can use it again.
And yeah, it does the single most amount of DPS. I think I've one-shotted people with like 2,500 with it on like a really stacked build. It is very obvious though. It has a distinct like noise before you cast it, so you will know it's coming. It moves really fast, but you know the timing of it. You roll it, and then that's it. Like,
And
unless they use a Brave Warrior soul, they get one shot.
Instantly depressed when they miss that thing. It is the funniest thing to watch someone miss a climax. They just go, they almost like stop moving.
Yeah,
because they wanted to hit that so bad.
I'm actually okay with a low S purely on the fact that you treat it like Forbidden Sun. It's very quick on good cast speed, and it's the ultimate Punisher because it can just fucking insta kill, and that is way more than Forbidden Sun. So you treat it like Forbidden Sun, but like better in every way. I think it needs 4 slots, but I mean, again, it is a one shot. So if you use it sparingly, situationally, and smart, like if you use it in a smart way, S tier. If you just throw it out like an idiot, like if you treat it like it's Dark Orb, it's like E tier, right? But if you use it exactly when you know you'll land it, it's S tier.
So there's a build that's going around and people are saying, oh, it's the strongest build in Dark Souls 2. They're talking about the Poison Climax build. So what you do is you poison someone, and then when they're trying to use a poison moss to heal their poison, you hit them with the Climax. It's very hard build to fight against, but we talked about it earlier. It's not impossible to fight against it, but it is very, very strong. Absolutely, yeah. So block it with a dark shield. There you go. Okay, so back of S, and we have one last spell here. Oh, this is the cloud, right? Poison.
Okay, so so actually, I'm gonna say that this goes in A.
Okay.
And here's why. On top of what Birds mentioned earlier, with it being, it strips poise, and apparently it does it more efficiently than the other misspells. It needs 2 slots, but it applies super poison instead of poison.
Oh.
Like, I believe probably some of you will know that there's not just one type of poison in Souls games. It depends on the game, but there's like poison, there's environmental poison, and then there's like deadly poison or super poison.
Yeah.
In Dark Souls 3, environmental poison is like, it does 3 damage per tick almost consistently. It does like, that's environmental poison, it does no damage. Regular poison, does like more or whatever in Dark Souls 3. And super poison or deadly poison is in Elden Ring. It's in DS3 on specifically the storyteller staff. And in Dark Souls 2, I believe super poison is only off of Dark Fog. And yeah, it will tick you faster than poison. I don't know if it's faster than toxic, but you can stack it with toxic because it's still poison. If you're fighting like a gank or at least just someone with a phantom, you slap Dark Fog on somebody and you poison them and they are fucked. So at least A tier. I don't know if I feel confident putting it in S because we're comparing it with Dark Orb and Scraps and fucking Climax, but definitely I would say it's up there in high A. Yeah, Dark Fog is great. It is an excellent spell.
Crazy. I can't believe we did it. We did it.
Yeah, wow, we went through all the spells. I thought it would have taken longer. I mean, 3 hours is long, but I thought we were going to be here all fucking night.
No, honestly, you're a wealth of knowledge on all of this, and I think we ranked them really good. I don't think we could go too out there. Let's just scroll back through our spells just to show everyone who maybe is coming in later didn't see. Here's our S tier. Yeah, Coffee and Bonfires, thanks for coming and checking it out the whole time, dude. That's awesome. Here's our Faith. We had our trash tier on Faith. We had our Great Heal Excerpt, then Great Heal, then Heavenly Thunder, and then Great Magic Barrier. Jeez, these are all so scary. Here's our Pyro list. Outcry, Great Chaos Fireball, Warmth, Immolation and F tier. Great Magic Barrier, my beloved. I know that thing is scary, Schiller. And then we had our dark spells. So awesome. I think that's where we're gonna cut it today.
Yeah.
We did a lot of Dark Souls 2 yesterday, so I'm kind of like, I need to like recharge. Yeah, I need to recharge on it. But let's go back to the main scene here and come back through here. And let's raid out, guys, if you don't mind. We're gonna raid our friend Salokin. It's his stream tonight. So thank you so much, Mr. Spaghetti, Mr. Draco, for coming through.
It was a pleasure to be here. I had a great time.